Oh, good morning. It's time to finish this off. This has been quite a week of building, and I'm a little sad to be done because this has been such a fun and challenging build. But at the same time, I'm really excited to actually try this out and like type on it and stuff. So if all goes well, today we'll be finishing this off, because yesterday we got the right hand completely done and fixed the LEDs on whichever hand was not working correctly, which I think was the right hand because that has the bodge wires in it. And today we'll fix up, we'll finish up this one. I learned a couple of lessons yesterday, putting the right hand together that I'm hoping to apply to the left hand. One of which is, I think I want to solder this switch here first, because of the way the PCB, or no, not that one. Shit. Okay, well, I didn't learn that lesson, so never mind. There's, oh, actually I did. So hang on. So this one, yeah, this one here is lifted a little bit, which means I want to get that flat against the thing. So I think that's the middle one here. So I want to do that one first, I think, because then when I push this down and the switch, the PCB tries to lift off of the plate, off of the case, it won't be able to do it. I don't remember. It doesn't matter. It's fine. But also that if I put the PCB on and get it flush against the board or against the case, then I can more easily push the switch in instead of trying to push the switch in and pull the PCB around the pins and stuff like that. And I thought there was one other thing, but I don't remember. It's fine. We'll get this done and find some caps to put on it. I think it might just end up being a hodgepodge of caps because other than my one set, my MT3 extended 2048 kit, which I have upstairs, I don't think I have a full set of keycaps right now, of legended keycaps anyway. So I have to figure something out. And the extended 2048 caps are already slated for my Cornelius whenever that arrives. And also, I don't know if I want to really use sculpted caps on a sculpted board. I think I should use uniform caps. So I'm just going to pull out my, my leftovers from various other boards and put them on and try to make it fun. Maybe I'll spell out 1337 or something. I don't know. just do something. Put some caps on this thing. It doesn't really matter. Most of the time my legends don't match anyways, since I use Dvorak. So anyways, I think that's about enough rambling. Just picking up the board here, I remembered that I wanted to trim these legs down a little bit. And I did it during assembly yesterday, but I might as well do it in advance today. But I needed to do it on both the thumb and the main board. Okay. So I think really it's just time to get soldering on this. time to get assembling the switches and the case and all of that fun stuff. So, as yesterday, I should update the description because the description is wrong, but yesterday I went to put in the Kailh Box Jades, but they are plate mount switches, so they don't have the extra little nubs here for PCB mount, which makes it so the switch doesn't sit in the PCB quite as nicely. It doesn't hold the PCB in place as nicely as these do. So I switched to using my Boba U4s, and I will find a good home for my Box Jades in the future. Boba U4s are pretty much my go-to tactile switch at the moment, for MX switches anyways. So I'm not losing anything by not using Box Jades. I am in fact gaining things because I'm not a clicky fan, but you know, I can't ignore the hype. The Box Jades are just super, you know, people love them and whatever, and I built a board with them for split KB, and I was like, wow, these actually feel pretty nice. They sound pretty nice. Maybe I'll try them out. And I never tried them out. So, but I do have like 150 of them, so at some point I will put them on a board and give it a solid go. So yeah, let's go ahead and put, I think for this first one, I can put the switch in and then put the board on top of it. So much wobble. So much wobble. Okay. So we're flush there. Let's get a little solder. Just kind of slap it on there to hold it in place. This is definitely a build where I wish my camera was farther away. Not that I would want to change the framing at all, but more that if it's farther away, I can have a little higher depth of field so things aren't as out of focus. Also, because it'll change the perspective, like this won't take up quite so much of the space if it's dangling up here. Like this. So I keep trying to convince myself to buy a better camera for this. I say a better camera. I don't necessarily mean better, although I do mean better because this camera kind of sucks. But more like interchangeable lenses and, you know, so I can have a long lens and find one that's got, you know, I can put a lens on that's got a little more depth of field. Just means I need brighter lights, but that's fine. Okay, and that tack didn't hold, so I'm gonna I'm gonna slurp the solder out of here real quick. Just get some of the excess. Okay, let's try this again. So one thing I was thinking about yesterday and a little bit this morning is finally starting to kind of begin to design my own keyboard. Because I'm finally like really figuring out elements that I like of different keyboards. That I want to, I'm like, oh, if only I had this, this, that, and that, it'd be the perfect keyboard for me. And while, you know, I can get not fairly rapid, but I can, you know, within within a week or so, design a PCB and get it printed up and ordered and stuff like that, and then have 5 of them to give to people or whatever. Like, there's part of me that's like, well, what if I just do a hand wire build with hot swap sockets and flexible, you know, a lot of flex between the caps and stuff, or the switches and stuff, so that I can basically, you know, print up a case, 3D print a case, and then put a keyboard into it. And it's literally just the same keyboard that I just put into different cases just for prototyping. But I don't have a 3D printer. But I've been kind of like, well, maybe I should get a 3D printer. So I don't know. There may be a 3D printer in my near future. I'll probably start off with an FDM printer, because for cases, I don't care so much about the smoothness that you might get with a resin printer, and it's less hassle, and there's different material choices and stuff, I guess. I don't know. Shit. Okay, this is gonna be tough to not burn myself and not melt the case and not everything else. But the other part of the problem I'm having is I'm pretty sure my long-term travel board is going to be a unibody split, like the Reviung or Zaphod or something like that, where it's a split keyboard but it's all one piece. So it's like, how do I do that with a 3D printer unless I buy like a huge printer? And you know, apparently there are ways to do like 2-piece things, and you can assemble them, you know, I don't know. So I need to look into it a little bit. But I definitely want to try it out. I'm probably going to end up getting the Prusa, I think. It's like the one everyone goes for. There's one that's like, or I think there are like 2 of them that everyone says to go for. One is, if you want the one that's plug and play, get this one. And if you want the one that is cheaper, but you've got to fiddle with it a little bit before you got to dial it, then get the other one. And I want to go with the one that's plug and play, because I have no idea what I'm doing. And I'd rather not... God damn it. I'd rather not have to fiddle with it too much in the beginning, because I'd probably get discouraged and not use it. Because it's like, my goal is not to learn how to 3D print things. My goal is to build a keyboard case. The 3D printer is just a mechanism for doing that. Maybe in the future I will get to the point where I'm like, okay, now I want the fancy printer that I can, like, fully customize and, you know, all that stuff. But the one I want, I think, in the beginning is the one that's like, turn it on, push a button, and out pops parts. Okay, these first switches are just a pain in the ass. Let's see if I can... You know what? I'm gonna... If only I had more switches. Okay. But what I'm thinking of for, like, my ideal keyboard right now is I really, really love my Reviungs. They're my favorite keyboards. Specifically the MX Reviungs. And I think I know why. Because I also really like the Zaphod. And it's a very different board. But I think I know why I like each one. So the Zaphod... okay, so I like the Reviung, I like the Zaphod. But I don't like typing on the Aho Core. It's not anything with the board. You know, it's a great board, etc. It's just the layout isn't quite what I'm looking for, and I wasn't sure why. There's something about the pinky stagger that messes with me, and what I think it is when you have a hard pinky stagger and it's real close together, the Aho Core is more like this, but my hands want to lay on it like this. Now on the Reviung, that's fine because I can reach those keys better. But on the Aho Core, my pinkies are way off kilter. But on the Zaphod is at a harder angle. So it's like I either need less pinky stagger or more angle. And I want to play around with that. And that's why I want to get a 3D printer to do that, because I want to be able to go, okay, I'm going to change the angle here and not have to, like, build a hinge into my board or whatever. I want to be able to, like, design a new pinky stagger and print it up and put a keyboard in it in a matter of an hour or two and try it out. So that's kind of what my thinking is with regard to getting a 3D printer for this. And this is just sucking. Why can't I do this today? It's not frustration banana time. It's only been 20 minutes or so. 15 minutes. But this is definitely frustrating. Okay. Push that down on there. Push that down on there. Now I need a sixth hand to feed some solder in. You know what? I'm gonna come back to that switch. It's flush, it's fine. I'll come back to it and add a little more solder in a bit. Okay. SU-120, what is that? SU-120. That is the SU-120. I have not looked into this, but I think this is basically what I'm looking for. is these are, you know, this is a hand wire, looks to be like a hand wire kind of package. It's got hot swap sockets for both Chalk and MX, which is nice. These are all individually breakoutable PCBs. It's got controller stuff. Yeah, this is actually really cool. I was gonna just get a bunch of amoebas, or the amoeba equivalent that allows for hot swapping, and put those in. Because, you know, in this case, the hot swapping is less about like being able to leave the board in place and pop the sockets out. It's more of like I can pull the PCB, the hand wire assembly, off of the back, pull the switches out, and put them in a different thing. So they're basically like, the hot swap sockets are there just to facilitate disassembly more than like I can change my switches. So yeah, but this looks really cool. I might have to get some of those printed up or buy them somewhere, hopefully, if someone has them for sale. Because that's, you know, this is like the whole shebang. One-stop shop for all your hand wire needs. Oh, the hell? Weird. Oh, JLC won't make them probably because they're too, the mouse bites are too small, they're too fragile or something like that. I mean, as long as I can get them made somewhere, I'm not super picky where they get made. You know, I've only got one set of PCBs made ever, and I got them from JLC, but that was just because it was like, okay, well, this is kind of the go-to place for getting PCBs made, but it wasn't because I'm like loyal to them or anything. PC babies. Whoops. I really wish Board Source had a search. This is just shitty. I don't. Come on, Board Source. Killing me. Whatever. Nancy, if you have a link for that Board Source, if you could send that to me on Discord, I'd greatly appreciate it. Sadly, I haven't been able to figure out the linking situation in chat. So we have to resort to going through Discord for now. Yeah, basically the idea with the 3D printer would be to figure out the kind of the stagger and the angle and stuff, and then I would design a PCB, get it printed up, because that would be the final board. There we go. Yeah, I don't know why I can't find those on board source front page or whatever. Yeah, so these are basically, it looks like, amoebas with hot swap sockets. They're you know, there's a bunch of different offerings in this space, so it's nice though that board source has them so that I can just buy them. And don't have to find somewhere to get them printed up. Let me get Safari out of here. Bye-bye. All right. Okay. This one, I can actually get my clips on. If I can find them. They're right here. Okay, so that is the top row done. And like the other hand, this side has the switch lifted a little bit. So that's something I have to deal with. And let me get a little more solder on this switch here. Shit. Okay. Perfect. So now we do the bottom row. Ow. Hot thing is hot. Imagine that. Okay. So push the PCB against the case, then put the switch in. And try to do it in such a way that my finger isn't in the way of all the pins. Okay. Get the next one in here. That snaps right in. Good. It's flat. Oh, I see why this column of legs doesn't cause a problem. It's because it overhangs. There's a little shelf here and it overhangs that. That's clever. Okay. Damn it. hell was that? I mean, it was obviously a switch, but where did it come from? Okay, that one's on there. I am glad that my neighbor's construction contractor decided to not do construction today, because I can do this today and have tomorrow to do something not on the computer, maybe. Sorry, really bad view here. There we go. Oh. Can I sneak this through somewhere and grab a hold of it? Looks like maybe. Yes. Okay. Holy shit. Except this isn't flat. Okay. Oh, and I bent a leg. That's getting these outers, the top and bottom row, is the hardest part. So once that's done, the inside's easy because you just pop the switch in and solder it. But this is a pain in the ass. Okay, I keep bending that leg. So I'm going to get a different switch. It's not the switch's fault. But it's kind of like when you're playing D&D and you roll like 3 ones and a night you change dice. It's just you know. See, that one went in nicely. Okay, let's get some solder in here. We're getting there. Okay, I'm actually going to give this one another chance. Straighten the leg out. And it won't go into a hot swap socket anyways, so it's better to use it for a soldered switch. Because that leg is just crooked. It's a little lightning bolt now. God damn it. Okay, so that is there. Push the switch in. Try to get it in the shot. There. That will not go into that hole. Okay, this switch is just cursed. This switch is going in the parts bin. Whoops, well, that's one way to do it. Okay. I'm gonna just add a touch more solder here, hopefully keeping the PCB down against the switch. Or at least the switch against the plate. Okay, that's top and bottom row done. Okay, almost there. 9 more switches. And these are the easy ones. So these should just pop right in. And then I solder them. Move on to the next one, pop right in, solder them. Okay. Third time's a charm. This one's gonna work this time. Except that. I don't know if you can see that, but that didn't, either is full of solder or something. There's no hole. Okay, it popped out. Okay, well, it popped in that time. Just solder it before it changes its mind. There we go. Okay. Hello, Linux Fish. Person who has one of my favorite profile pictures because it's a cat. Wearing a little bandana. It's adorable. Yeah, Boba U-Force. My current favorite tactile switch. And to be honest, probably the last tactile switch I'll buy. Like, if I need more switches, just buy Boba U-Force. They're perfect. Uh, 62. I have 62s and 68s by accident, so I had to check. Although, I bet you unless I put them on the same keyboard, side by side, I wouldn't be able to tell the difference. So, it's kind of irrelevant to me. Like if I was like, huh, this switch feels a little different. Oh, it's because it's a 68 instead of a 62, or the other way around. Okay. Hopefully this will just pop right on these switches. And then I can solder them up real fast. Bent that leg. Okay. Let's see. Okay, that one's on. Oh, no, it's not. Ah. Yeah, I've tried light switches in chocks. Like, I have some perps that I've actually modified with a click bar to make them into plurps, which are clicky perps. And I've tried the G-Chocks from, well, G-Chocks, they're I think originally G-Boards commissioned them or something. They're like Jane's switches, basically, is what I think of them as. Way too light for me. I've tried ProReds. Way too light for me. But the clerps, the clicky perps, I am going to put them in my Cornish Zen when it arrives, as is. Because the reason I made him clicky is because I want tactility. But chalk browns suck. Or chalk tactiles suck, I should say. So I use clickies instead. But I wanted the color because my case for my Cornish Zen is purple. So I wanted them to match. And it's like a dark base. I don't know if I have one right here. It's like a dark base with a purple stem. It's really pretty looking switch. And since most chalk linears, at least modern ones, are basically just clickies without the click bar, it's really easy to mod them into clickies because you just add a click bar. So that's what I did. But I left the weights, I left the springs the same. Thinking that if I wanted to, or you know, I want to try it with the lighter springs, hoping that maybe the click bars add enough resistance that it'll make up for the difference in weight. But I haven't really tried them out that much yet. So, long story short, I may be making those heavier perps, but for right now, they are just perps of the click bar. Now that I'm using more combos and stuff, lighter switches are definitely something I'm going to try to get into a little bit, but I don't know. We'll see. And I don't remember this being so much in my way yesterday. I feel like this is very, like, hard to work around. These cables. Okay, let me just make sure they're all, yeah, good enough. All right, last one. Come on, get in there. Okay. I don't know. I've only really tapped on them because, like, I have them on a chalk build, but it's too tall. I need to get shorter standoffs, or just take the base plate off, but meh. So I really haven't used them. Plus, I've been playing around with ZMK. I haven't ported my combos and everything back to QMK yet, so it's going to be a little bit before I can really put that board to, you know, to be able to use that board as a daily, to really give it a solid, like, okay, am I going to like this? Am I not going to like this? Okay, that's all done. Before I try to do final assembly, let's just make sure I didn't break everything. And as you can see, I did. So everything still works. Let me do a little bit of test. Okay, keyboard works. I'm gonna take a drink of water real quick. This feels good. To be finally... to be finally done with soldering these damn things. Okay. Because, man, that is just an operation and a half. Like, it's just... it's a real thing. Alright, let's see if this works. We can smash this in here. Come on. Come on. Okay. Yeah, cross thread for the win. How bad did I screw this one up? It's not terrible. Uh-oh. Oh, okay, no, that's fine. There. Okay. Now we're good. Okay, and just to make sure it all still works. Even after screwing that stuff in, great. Boom. Yeah, chalk whites are great. To be honest, I think the robins are subtly better. I think the sound and the weight is just enough of a difference. Something, I don't know. Like, I have whites on my chalk Reviung, I have whites on my Ahokori, I have robins on my Zaphod, and I like the robins on the Zaphod better. But I will say that those are all very different keyboards. So it could be something completely unrelated to the switches. But that's kind of where I'm at right now. Okay, so let me plug the other side in too. Just to double check that that's good still. No. Oh, you can't see it. It's only those three on. I don't get it. I don't understand. I don't understand it. Why? Why? That's the same, that's the LED I bodged, and... Okay, well... We've made it this far. I'm gonna put some stuff away. Clean up a little bit. I'm gonna test the keyboard. So I need to find a TRS cable. Oh, and I need to put caps on. So there's TRS. I'm gonna get some caps. I don't know why my desk suddenly started playing music, but it did. Okay, let me just... Well, I'm gonna need that if I need to take the case off. Okay. I'm just flipping through my caps real quick to see if I have any full sets. Because I don't believe I do. But if I do, we're going to use one of those. Oh, I do have a full set. Okay. So I'm going to share, and this may be jeopardizing my career, giving away trade secrets and whatnot. But I'm going to share a little trick that I use to get caps out of a tray. So you've got caps like this, right? They're in these little things. They're pretty tight. It's like, yeah, you can get in there with some tweezers maybe, but they're kind of hard to grab. They're slippery and you're scratching shit out of the caps and stuff like that. So you're like, oh, well, maybe I can go at it from the other end and be like this. Well, actually, that works. Okay, well, that wasn't supposed to work. Anyways, that wasn't the trade secret I was going to show you. The trade secret I was going to show you is blue tape. The secret to everything. Just take some blue tape, wrap it around your finger. So you got a little wad of blue tape there, and just pick them up. Nice and easy. Oops. Got to remember that there are 6 columns on this board. It's nearing banana time. I'm gonna put caps on, I'm gonna type. I'm gonna go get a banana. And then we're gonna come back and maybe fix the other diodes, the LEDs. Okay. Maybe. Oh wait, you know what? These are cherry profile, I think. They're not even uniform. Whatever. I don't care. Actually, they might be cam or cat. I don't know what these switches or these caps are. Imagine having so many caps that you don't know what they are. If they are cats, that's frustrating because I have been waiting for cats for a long time because I wanted to try them. I've got like 3 different sets on Group Buy, and here I have a set, and I'm not even going to put them to a proper test because these on a sculpted profile is just weird. HJKL semicolon. Okay. So now we've got a bunch of other keys to figure out. Ooh. So this one actually came with non-homing F and J keys, which is nice. Because that means I can put my, I can swap these around to Dvorak if I want to. Okay, well, non-uniform profile is kind of annoying for this because it's like, what do I put for these 1Us? Well, I can... I can go get a banana, is what I can do right now. I'm gonna go do that. And then I'm gonna come back and probably pull all these off and just hodgepodge some uniform caps together. I'll be right back. Frustration banana time. Oh, Linux Fish, that is a fantastic point. Even with non-homing F and J, I can't rearrange the caps because they're non-uniform profile. Okay. So let me take a step back here. We've got one problem to face, and that's that the right-hand LEDs are still screwed. Which is really weird because I plugged this in and tried it yesterday after assembling everything and it worked. But that's I can fix that. Probably. The other problem is that these caps are not going to do. So I'm going to pull all the caps off, put different caps on, type on it, and then we're going to fix the right hand LEDs again for like the 8th time. Yeah, the problem is, so yesterday, so this is the first one that doesn't work. Yesterday I replaced that LED for a second time, but I lifted pads. So I've got a bodge wire. And everything was working, the thumbs, everything was fine. But now that one's not working, means none of the rest are working either. So it's like I fixed this LED twice already. I don't get it. And to put another complication into this, my neighbor's construction crew just showed up. So, and make it really loud down here, and I may end the stream early. But I'm going to type on these. At the very least, I'm gonna, because the keyboard part works, I think. Pretty sure. In fact, let's just test that everything works besides the LEDs. Let's ignore the LEDs for right now and ignore the caps. Because those things I can fix off stream if need be. And yes, F. Definitely F. This is frustrating. Alright, let's bring Safari back. Transition. UMK configurator test. Okay, so we've got tab QWERTY or T. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and this is a layer of some sort, I think. Yeah, numbers. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Wow, that's escape on the default key map. That's weird. Okay. And this is also layers. Okay. Cool. So all the switches work. These LEDs aren't working because they want to be a pain in my ass. And And yeah, so let me pop all the caps off. And put some different caps on. Sorry, I keep hitting the camera. Shit. Okay. Yeah, this box these caps came in isn't labeled at all. Well, that is a full set of uniform caps. Beautiful. Okay. We are in business. My day just got a little bit better. Frustration banana helped. Oh, come on. There we go. Whoops. Ooh. I've got a whole bunch of fun novelties in this set. Got some Space Invaders going on there. Wow, that's amazing that got all filtered out. Jesus, that's loud. Glad y'all can't hear that. Okay. I need 4 more caps. Alright. Yeah, these are nice caps. I do wish that, like, KBD fans had more caps that weren't just, like, X on white. But I understand why. Because most of the time, if you're doing non-white caps, you're doing, like, reverse die sub. Like, white on black caps is reverse die sub, which is way harder than this type of die sub. And KBD fans is kind of like good quality, inexpensive caps. Like, mass-produced, but they're still good. Because these are really comfy caps. I like KBD fans caps. I just wish they had a little more variety in colors, is all. But, like I said, it's understandable. Okay, now I can actually type on the... Whoa. Okay. Let's see now. Oh, this is weird. This is so weird. So, okay. First impressions putting my hands on this. The pinky stagger, from a... If you look at it from the top down, looks almost corne in shape. But because it's elevated above the board, or above the rest of the cap, it's hard to see there. Because it's elevated above the rest of the caps, because it's elevated above the rest of the caps, it feels different. It feels like it's more staggered or something. Like my pinkies have to bend a little more, which is not, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying it's just like unexpected. And a function of the sculpt in the switches, or in the key well here. Let me first see, where's my space? Okay, that's enter, that's thing, that's alt. Where the hell is space? Oh, it's space is over there. Okay. So I can't really monkey type on this without changing the firmware up. Well, actually, you know what? No. Let me... This has VIA built in. Or Vile, anyways. Which looks like it's not compatible with VIA, because VIA won't find it. Let's see. Vile keyboard. Let's get Safari back up so you can see what I'm doing. Download file. don't want I want it to show up as a stack. Bang. Good. Okay. Oh, this is unsigned. Okay. Turn Safari off, and we'll put file on. Window capture file. Okay, so for some reason I can't window capture this file window, so that's fine. But what I can do is swap base. And that should do it. Let's see. Okay. Oh, okay. So I'm hitting ampersand, or I'm hitting single quote instead of A because of the stagger. Okay. I'm also typing my hands way too close together. That's not helping anything. Let's see. Hold. Where's backspace? There. Okay, not bad, not bad. For a totally brand new keyboard that I've never tried to use before. Alright, let's do a little bit more. Ah. Okay. That's good enough. AFK detected. Nice. Okay. Cool. So that part works. All right, now let's see if we can real quick go in here, figure out what WTF with our LEDs and put a bow on this build. I'm not going to put the bump-ons on because I sat down at my desk last night upstairs and I kind of put my hands down and I realized that my hand is just about at the correct angle that this wants to be. That's the wrong side. My hand is kind of at the correct angle. And so I'm like, you know, maybe I'm going to try this hard tenting thing out. By the way, I guess the tent has its own bump-ons, so I could put bump-ons on this because this plate comes off when you put the tent on. Anyways, doesn't matter. So I might try it out. I need to figure out a good way to hook a USB keyboard up to my iPad. Because I only have one USB port on the iPad. And I usually have that for power. And I just use Bluetooth keyboards. And I have my monitor has USB ports on it and it will charge my iPad, but the problem is it also does display mirroring, which I thought I would like, but now that I have it, I don't like it. Okay. Because it doesn't scale, or it scales it doesn't run at native, because I have a 5K display. It doesn't run at native unless the application I'm using has support for external monitors, like Blink or something does, but then Blink and external monitors is just weird. It doesn't work super well. It doesn't work as well as I would like it to. So what I was trying to figure out there is, like, which thing isn't getting through to this? And it seems like none of that did anything. Okay, that has continuity. That has continuity. Oh wait, that's the input across to the output. Let's see. That has continuity. That has continuity. So what is it, just that diode again that's broken? Is it really 3 in a row diodes that just don't work? And like suddenly stopped working when it was working fine? Yeah, I have continuity there, which wouldn't matter because I have continuity across here too. Or sorry, LED. Not diode. I do that a lot. I want to try bypassing that LED entirely in the signal chain. So I'm going to go from the output here trying to think if I have a way to do this that isn't just bend the crap out of my tweezers. Sunny Beach. And this is going to be really hard to get in here to look at. Because of okay. So what I'm trying to do here is bypass the traces on the board and just go direct from the output, the data out of this diode in the corner to the data in of this diode over here. In theory, that should turn on the next diode in the chain that works. But it's not doing what I want. I don't have... What I really need is like something with a probe on both ends that doesn't have resistance. Well, you know, I can just do... I can use my meter in current mode, and it should work as just a carry things through. Because, like, if I go... Oh, wait, that's PCC. Whoops. See, that's not working at all. How about if I just go here to here? Hey, yeah, see, I don't know. So frustrating. Like, I had all these LEDs working yesterday. All of them were working. And today, just for whatever reason, they're like, nah, not gonna do that today. I don't get it. I really don't get it. And I tested it after I put all of the board together, all the case and everything. So it's not like suddenly, you know, it's not like I broke a lead or something while I was... while I was bending that in place, because that's totally reasonable, right? This is, you know, putting a lot of force on this. You could lift pads, you could break the component, all sorts of stuff. But no, I tested it after I had everything in place and it was working. And now it's not. And seriously, getting in here to fix this. Because, like, I literally can't... If this was the diode that's broken or something like that, I literally can't replace that diode. It's not possible. I would have to desolder this whole column of switches to pop that out of there. Nah. You know what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna punt on this. I think I'm gonna call this good for now. This will go into my group of boards that work but have a little problem or something like that I will maybe revisit someday. I say maybe, and what I really mean is probably not. Because the main thing I wanted out of this was to try out the form factor, right? The diodes, the LEDs are less important. I mean, a lot of this is me trying to make excuses for why I'm giving up on this. But at the same time, you know, I think that's okay. Like, I've spent a lot of time on this week. I'm ready to move on, I think. That just irks me to no end that, like, that sort of thing happens. I don't know why. Now watch, I'm going to put it all back together. Yeah, no, it's been a really challenging build. And that's good. Like, honestly, that is good. The reason it's good is because it's tested my skills, my troubleshooting abilities, my patience. It's worked my brain. It's been fun. Like, I've had a lot of fun. You know, I may look really frustrated or sound really dejected, but it's more of a, like, you know, I'm just like, oh man. Like, I'm exhausted, but it's a good exhausted, you know? And I'm frustrated about the LEDs because I'm like, what did I screw up? How did I screw this up? Yeah, but that's 3. Because this is the 3rd LED that has been in here. So there's no way. There's no way. Or maybe the other 2 weren't bad and it was just the leads. Because I, you know, had a couple of bodge wires and that fixed it. I don't know. I was really lucky with the LEDs on this half because they all worked right out of the gate. Like, I literally plugged this board and they were all plugged this side in, and they were all working fine. It was beautiful. I was so happy when that happened. I can't tell you how happy I was when that happened. Anyways, I think I'm calling this here. I will revisit this. This will come back. There will be a secret part 5. Maybe that's for my 1,000 subscribers. I'll do like a dig out the broken boards things. Because I tell you what, the broken boards that I have are almost all LED related. The switches and stuff work just fine. It's the LEDs that are screwy. So, anyways. This is a cool build. This is a cool board, I should say. Fun build. There are definitely some things I did not like about it. And if I were to do another one of these... if I were to build a keyboard like this again, it would be a hand wire for sure. The Flex PCB is a great idea. And I don't want to say bad execution, because it's not bad execution. I think it was executed well. Maybe there was more that could have been done to make it easier to get them to put into place or something like that. Maybe a little more gap. I don't really know the mechanics of it. It's just really difficult to work with. So like when I was popping these, oh, definitely. I was popping these keycaps out, and all the switches are really loose in the case. They're mostly being pulled against the case by the PCBs, but then you've got that one column on each hand that's being actually pushed out by the PCBs. Wrestling with the springy things and stuff, like it was just kind of fiddly and finicky, and I didn't like that part. I don't know what I would do differently other than hand wire, but that's like I was saying, that's a daunting step for a lot of people. They want a PCB they solder into, and that's what this is. But it's, a little funky. I don't know how to say it. I'm not trying to like shit on your thing, Quentin, because this is awesome. The fact that this works at all is really, really cool. The flexible PCBs. So anyways, I'm sorry. I am looking forward to giving this build a try. I really, really love these switches, so any excuse to use these switches is nice. Yeah. I do want to build another one, though. Like, I want to do the skeletal hand build, I think. So there might be a skeletal case order in your inbox soon, Quentin. Anyways, I'm going to call this for now. Maybe I will poke at this weekend, or if I get bored or something like that, try to fix the LEDs. But I think I'm gonna just live with it for now. I'm gonna get a couple of pictures, even with the broken LEDs, and post them on the channel. So yeah. Whew. Oh, so one of my hobbies is bad segues. So here's a bad segue. This board that I talked a little bit about yesterday at the end of the stream. I was like, where are the diodes? And I was told by, I don't remember who, but I was told that if you have less than 17 switches, you don't need diodes, because each switch gets its own pin on the controller. And I think that's really cool. And I believe we've got 3, 6, 9, 12, 14, 17 switches. So you don't need diodes. So this doesn't have diodes because it doesn't need them. It does make me wonder why this one has diodes. Although wait, 3, 6, 9, 12. Oh, because it's got, okay, because it's got more than 17 switches. Yeah. So since this doesn't need diodes, it's hot swappable. Let me check to see if I have controllers. Let me check. Well, I have 2 black ones. And I have... I am not going to burn Elite C's on these, but I have some Elite C's. And hang on, I have another Elite C in a bag here that I want to get out of. Put it in my box of controllers. Okay. Little bonus wind down the week. I'm gonna build this. This shouldn't take very long at all. There's no diodes. It's just 34 hot swap sockets, 2 controllers, and TRS jacks. Like this is about as simple a keyboard as you can make. Now the question is, do I have enough sockets? $31. $32. $33. Yes, I have enough sockets. I don't even know what this board is called. I'm going to change the stream title. Yeah, I'm like 95% sure I just can't use this board because of the weird pinky. Like, not only is it super hella staggered, but it's only 2 keys. Of course, I say that, and I said a long time ago I didn't think I could use a 34 keyboard. And guess what my daily driver is? A Zaphod with 34 keys. Although I do wish it had 35. I think it'd be perfect if it had 35. Because then to have it enter on the base layer, which would be very exceptionally good. Oh, I know what this board is. It's the cuttlefish. Because that's a cuttlefish. I mean, I don't know if that's the official name for the board, but that's what I'm going to call it. Cuttlefish. Because why not? Come on. There we go. While it is in my brain, something just popped up in my brain. While it's in my brain, I want to check. So that is not the right part of the board. So we've got TRS jack. I've got through-hole TRS jack here. Can I fudge this into a surface mount by just bending the legs? And the answer is yes. Good enough. So that's what I'm gonna do. Which means, other than whatever the hell that is, which I need to figure it out. Like, I genuinely have no idea what that is supposed to be. I need to look at the build guide, but whatever that is, other than that, I should have everything I need to build this. So I can do it next week. And hopefully next week my Chalk V2 Reviung will arrive. I just got the invoice for it today. So I'm looking very much forward to that. I have the switches for it already. I should probably order some more caps. Or I'll just frankencap that board. Ah, okay. Yeah, I don't need the embedded steno functionality. Yes. And if I do, eventually I will either build another one or add it onto this one or whatever. But I probably won't. Because I have a feeling that this particular the Fisher is just going to be a museum build for me. Because it's a very cool concept, but it would not hold up in a backpack at all. The only thing holding the PCBs together is some solder joints on surface mount No, that would not hold up at all mechanically. Okay. Don't worry, I'm not actually soldering in the controller right now. Just soldering the headers. But I'm using the controller as a template. So the headers stay upright. Although that is actually the correct way for the controller to go on. So. Yeah, thanks for hanging out, Quentin. This was fun. Seriously, and I will, not today probably, but I will try to fix those LEDs soon, because I want to see that board fully in its full glory. Frustration Banana was not enough to salvage that part of the stream today. Because that's just demoralizing, you know? It's like, I had it working. I spent all this effort yesterday, and I got it working, put it all together, and it still worked, and it was fine. I plug it in today, and it doesn't work. It's like, what? It's like, I don't even know what could have gone wrong between then and now. And I'm just like, ugh. So I'm just like, you know what? We're just gonna not today. We're just gonna do something else. Sometimes you gotta know when to pick your battles. And today, that was not a battle I was wanting to pick. I may do it on stream, I may do it off stream, I don't know. But I'm gonna fix it because, like I said, I want to see that thing in all its wonderful, lit up, rainbow puke glory. Okay. So TX0 goes on the upper left and raw goes on the upper right. So we've got TX0 and raw. Or TXO, I don't know. Yeah, the only issue I had, at least like, the only thing that isn't fully functioning on mine is the LEDs. If you want to say issues, well, it's not easy to assemble. Whether you want to call that an issue or just the nature of the beast, it's up to you. I think it's the nature of the beast, because it's just a difficult board to put together. But without RGBs, it should be pretty straightforward build, really. The hardest part was, if we take LEDs out, the hardest part was getting the first couple of switches in and keeping them flush against the case while also having the plate of the PCB flush against it on the inside. In large part because it's all curved and it twists, and so it wants to pull in different places and stuff. It's just it's got a lot going on. Okay, so I want to make sure I do bottom. It was definitely a fun build. Because it was really challenging. They would definitely not work. Yeah, these are hot swaps, but this isn't the dactyl. Or this isn't the Bastyl. The Bastyl's already done. But hot swap switches would not work on this. Because the solder on the switches is what holds the PCB in place in most cases. Yeah, this is a weird keyboard. But it's got a cuttlefish on it. And it's easy to build. I don't know. It's a museum piece. Well, Q is right here. So I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, I fix one socket and I knock another one out. Yeah, I'm sure it is. I haven't built a skeletal, but I'm sure it's the same thing. There's a really good chance I'm going to build a skeletal. But I am going to hand wire it and see if that makes it easier. Because I think it will. Not fully hand wire. I'll use like some sort of single switch PCB setup, but maybe not, because that really only saves me from having to do shenanigans with diodes. on a non-LED board. Yeah, I have no idea how you deal with pinkies only having 2 keys. And like how far down it is, I honestly, I don't know why I'm building this board other than I have all the stuff to make it and it won't take very long. I may not even put switches in this. I may just this may just be a, like, distraction from the thing. Yeah, combos, maybe. I don't know. I like having all my alphas on a base layer, though. But I will admit fully that so much of that is because I'm coming from a traditional keyboard background. Combos are starting to change my life. On my 34 key, or on my Zaphod, I should say, I have combos, vertical combos on the home row and the top row on each finger that are brackets, and I have one that's on these two. Whoops, I missed one. One that's on the innermost column of keys, that's for enter. Very reminiscent of the type matrix, which kind of got me started on this whole non-normie keyboard thing many years ago. I think at this point, this board is mostly an excuse to keep the stream going for a little bit longer today. My problem with horizontal combos is rolls trigger them too much. Like I had on my... So I use Dvorak, so my right hand home row is HTNS. So I had... When I first put my Zaphod together and got it going, I put enter on all 4 HTNS keys. It's very similar to like a setniop, which the right hand home row, or the right hand fingers on a setniop is how you hit enter. So I was like, okay, and I know enough of a setniop that that'll be easy for my brain to remember. And it worked fine. But I use fairly heavy switches. ZMK. So I use fairly heavy switches. So I was like, okay, well, this works, but I wonder if I can get away with just 2. Because like hitting enter multiple times in a row with that was a little fiddly. And it's also just a lot of weight with like 50 gram or 40 gram switches. Like that's a lot of force to push down on. So I tried just NT. And that was a complete and utter disaster. I was hitting enter everywhere. Even trying to type the word enter. I couldn't type the word enter without triggering the combo for enter. And this was like a 20 millisecond combo term. So it's not like I had a super long combo term and stuff like that. Like, no. This was just normal typing. So I went back to HTNS briefly just to go like, okay, I have to stop this craziness. And then I thought about, okay, well, how do I want to put brackets and stuff on the main, if I wanted to do combos for brackets, how do I do it? And then I was like, oh yeah, I can put enter here, on these two keys. And that'll be very much like my type matrix, because enter on a type matrix is here on a big button. And so far, it's been working nicely. I do want to figure out a way for my brain to not want to put my finger flat to hit both keys and use the tip, because I feel like I'm moving my fingers a lot to lay flat on the things. But I think a large part that's because the switches are heavy, and so I have to put a lot of force on them, so it doesn't feel quite right to just quick tap on it. You have to push a lot of force down. So when I get my corne, my chalk corne that I have with MX, or with my wired chalk corne, when I get that going, which has clicky perps on it, or when my Cornish Zen gets in and I move the clicky perps to that, I'll figure out, if that's light, if the lightness of those switches helps with that or not. But also, I kind of really want to just have a Zaphod with a 5th thumb key. So. Because then I put enter on the middle, and it's just like my Revions. So when I finally get around to actually starting to design a board, which I think I'm gonna start doing, because I think if I get a 3D printer, I think I can start prototyping with that in a hand wire setup of some sort. Sorry about that. Shit. Ah. Now it's all screwy. Whatever. Okay, so to go back to your question, window dump. What combo engine am I using? That raises a question for me. What combo engine should I be using? I haven't ported my combos, basically my 34 key back to QMK yet, but I need to. Because I have several QMK boards that I want to try a 34 key layout with. But I've never done anything with combos on QMK, only ZMK, so I have no idea how it works. Ow. Man, these things are sharp. Alright, there you go, there's another keyboard. Just soldering for the sake of soldering at this point. I believe this is called the cuttlefish, and I'm basing that assumption on the fact that there's a cuttlefish on the board. But I don't actually know. But this thing is just super weird with the angled, the angled pinky, the like missing switches on the pinky, the super hard stagger on the pinky. Just so much weird about it. Well, I mean, this was about the easiest board you can possibly build. Now, this is just for shits and grins. I don't even think I'm going to go any further than this. I didn't flash the controllers. I'm probably not going to put switches in this. This is going to be like a, if I feel like it one day, I'll put switches in it and use it. The reason that's okay is because I got these PCBs for free. So it's not like I paid a bunch of money for this. Like the most expensive component of this is probably the sockets. So I wasted like $10 worth of components here. But no, this was not a single stream build. So 2 boards in 1 stream. You can kind of say that in that I finished the second, or you know, this board, this stream, but I certainly didn't start it this stream. I'm gonna plug it back in and see. Maybe the LEDs are no longer temperamental and they'll just start working again. And no, they won't. Maybe a little percussive maintenance? Nope. Nothing. Nothing. Oh well. I will get this figured out. This is a really cool board. I could see myself really liking this. I could really see myself really liking this. So I'm probably going to do a skeletal build at some point. I didn't realize that I should have gotten the skeletal because it's 5 columns. And I'm, at this point, down to 5 columns. So I might as well go smaller. And that's only really relevant because with tenting, that 6th column lifts the board further off of your desk or whatever. And it's just wasted height that I'm not using. But, yeah, no, this is cool. And I really love these caps. These are just great. I need to buy some more caps because I'm out of full sets. But, I really like these caps. The design is cute. Anyways, who cares if you did all the Bastyl? I don't. That's why I broke it up, because I was like, there's no way I can do this all in one stream. And having it like giving myself the permission to do it over multiple streams means that I don't have to feel so pressured if I run into issues. I can just switch to a different one. Yeah, hand-wired skeletal. At least that's kind of the plan, I think. It won't be fully hand-wired, but it'll be probably like amoeba PCBs or something, or Nancy earlier linked me to the PC Babies on Board Source, and someone else mentioned, let's see. Oh, Nancy also mentioned the SU-120s, which is this. So that is something I want to look into for handwire builds. So I'm probably going to get some of those. And then PC Babies have MX hot swap sockets, which if I'm doing a sculpted board like this, I'm doing MX switches. I don't know. I think that depends on how tight your tolerances are in your printing. I'm hoping that I can get the case 3D printed such that it holds the switches well. Mostly what I want the PC babies for and stuff at this point is to prototype layouts. So it'll be a flat board, but I'll change the pinky stagger and I'll change the angle between the halves because I'm gonna play around with the unibody splits. So we'll see. But I figure before I get a 3D printer or figure all that stuff out, I can get a skeletal hand wired up and see what happens from there. So I don't know. This was a fun build. Frustrating at times, but fun. A worthy opponent. And it defeated me in some ways, and I defeated it in some ways, and I think we're calling it a ceasefire at the moment. Wow, there are a lot of bump-ons on this case. That's good, but it's just... Yep, I've got helping hands. They should be coming tomorrow, I think. After this build, I realized how much I really needed them because there was shit everywhere and it was just a pain. But I've got helping hands on the way. Now you're best frenemies. Yeah, pretty much. I did really enjoy this build. The only thing that still irks me about it is the LEDs on the right hand don't work, but I'll revisit it at some point because I want to. Because I really want all these to work, these LEDs. I want to see this thing in its natural habitat. Anyways, I think I'm going to call it for today. I'm probably going to do some 3D printer shopping this afternoon. Where did I get those feet that came with it? Came with the kit. Probably going to do some 3D printer shopping. See what I want to do about that. Yeah. It's been a long streaming week. This board gave me a lot to do this week, and I'm thankful for that because, yeah. Anyways, next week I've got more stuff I'm gonna do. We're gonna do this because I do have all the components for this. It'll be a little bit of like, oh hey, I heard you like 3D keyboards, so here's a 3D keyboard that is just PCB material. We'll do that. Hopefully my Chalk V2 Reviung will come in, so we'll do that as well. And I have a Chalk Kyria. What is PCB? Oh, do you mean like what does it stand for? Or what is this? PCB means printed circuit board. That's the generic term for the actual things. This particular board is called the Fissure, F-I-S-S-U-R-E, and it's a board that kind of has built-in tenting because you put this board, which is your thumb cluster, down here. You lift this up, and this kind of props it up on here. So it kind of has a shape. This is probably upside down or backward or something, but that's the general idea. So it kind of has the shape of like a skeletal or you know, a dactyl, like a sculpted board, but without as much complexity. And, you know, this is no different in cost than any other PCB. So it's a lot cheaper because you don't need the 3D printed case and you don't need that. Although I do question, so like the only, as far as I can tell, the only physical structural components holding these things together are, you put this section here and you solder it in these 7 places on each side, and that's your structural thing, and then you put this on here, and I just feel like that's, you're gonna rip the pads off, or, you know, like it's not super durable. But this, you know, maybe that's being improved, or maybe there's a case that someone is gonna make for it that'll make that part better, or I don't know. But it's gonna be a fun board to build, and I think it's really novel, the idea of like using just PCBs to kind of build a little tented, or maybe not so much tented, but just more of like, you know, not a flat board. I think it's really cool. So I'm excited to build this. It should be a pretty quick build. There's no LEDs, so it's just a bunch of diodes, controller, and a little bit of pruning is going to be necessary here to get these mouse bites smooth. But yeah, should go together pretty nicely. Nope, this is a, it's not a 34 key, but it's kind of 34 key. So there's, you know, you've got your standard 34 key, but then you've got 2 extra pinkies over here if you want. And then 3 thumb keys. So it's a 3x6-ish plus 3 keyboard. And yeah. Anyways, I'm going to call it for today. I've got some stuff I want to do this afternoon. Gonna probably get my nails redone with a friend because, oh my god, these look really terrible. Think about how I want to troubleshoot this, because I do want to fix this. But that's it. That's the stream today. Thank you all for hanging out. Thanks for for being patient with me with my woes on this. And yeah, if anybody wants this to try it out or something, hit me up on Discord. I'd probably just drop it in the mail to you. But I want to have a review on the pinky or something. I don't know. Use Denny Tom's cording engine fork Sudoku or the process combos earlier, overlapping combos QMKPR. Okay. I will check that out. Is there like a quick TLDR of why to use those combos? I don't, like I said, I don't know anything about combos, so and I know I keep saying like, and that's the stream, and then I keep talking. But I promise, last one. I will probably hit both of you up on Discord and we'll chat about the combo engine stuff. Early combo is definitely necessary. Yeah, I think that's ZMK's implementation too. They do it so that it fires before anything else can. So, but I'm not really sure. I remember Pete was telling me something about that when I was doing setting up my combos, because I was like, the combos are a little weird because you on ZMK anyways, you say like which, like each key has a number, and it's like left to right, top to bottom. So you have to say which keys by number are part of the combo. And that just seems really weird to me because it also makes it hard to port between boards that have different numbers of keys and stuff like that. So it's weird. But anyways, I'm going to call it there. Thank you all for hanging out. I'll talk to you on Discord. And one last thing. I am going to launch a Discord soon. Probably 2 weeks is my guess. I was going to do it for 100 subscribers. Maybe that'll coincide with 100 subscribers, but maybe not. But I think I want to have it because I think I want to just have a place for this stuff. So anyways, I'm gonna take off. Thank you all. Bye. Click.